told your friend you're not okay.
On February 12, a moment no one could have predicted turned into one of the most monumental chapters in Jungkook's solo journey. Amidst the glittering city of Seoul, where the lights never truly go out, a legendary Swiss name arrived with an industry-shaking announcement. It was Hublot. Without a public gathering, without a live broadcast, without a grand stage, just a private ceremony with select guests, they officially introduced Jungkook as the newest global ambassador. And from the moment the news broke, the fashion world, international media, and even K-pop fans were all in awe. From early morning, the atmosphere around the event venue felt different. The streets were narrowed, access was strictly monitored, and security guards guarded every corner, as if a high-caliber event were underway. The fans gathered outside remained orderly, carrying banners, cameras, and an unconcealed sense of pride. Large-scale support projects stood side by side with billboards, all displaying the artist's face on a scale that made anyone pause for a moment. When the vehicle carrying him arrived, time seemed to hold its breath. All eyes were fixed on the same spot. Jungkook stepped down with a calm stride, wearing a black bomber jacket from Jack & Jones, a simple silhouette that exuded undeniable charisma. The evening's concept was party chic, and Jungkook wore it like he was born with it, minimalist, dark, elegant, yet magnetic. Minutes later, social media was abuzz with comments. Unreal. A perfect fit. He looks like walking luxury. Leaked photos from the private event dominated trends across the globe. Many described his appearance as resembling an angel in black, a blend of mystery and unadulterated serenity. But this collaboration wasn't just about luxury watches. Hublot's decision to appoint Jungkook was a bold declaration that his influence was now in a global league, on par with world fashion icons. As a brand renowned for its strong innovation, precision, and exclusivity, they chose a figure who represented a generational shift, an artist who dared to experiment, rocked global music charts, and built his solo identity with unwavering conviction. Fans who had followed Jungkook's journey from his trainee days to the present found this moment deeply emotional. Seeing him stand confidently at an exclusive event alongside a historic Swiss name felt like witnessing history being written right before our eyes. Although the ceremony was private, his influence was far-reaching. From his calm expression, his subtle smile, to his simple gestures captured on camera, everything became a talking point. He didn't need flashy accessories, his poise alone was enough to dominate the room. Fashion analysts began discussing his image transformation, from golden Maknae to global figure setting the direction for a new generation. Expectations for Hublot's next global campaign were high. Would it embrace dark mystery? Modern minimalism? Or Hublot's signature experimental innovation? Whatever the direction, the world was ready. From a business perspective, this was a strategic move. Jungkook has an incredibly loyal international fan base. Everything he touches becomes the center of attention. The Jungkook effect was no longer a hyperbolic term, but an industry reality. For the artist himself, this was a new chapter that confirmed he was not just a musician, but a global cultural and fashion icon. Behind his all-black appearance, there was a long journey of discipline and dedication. From a boy growing up in Busan to now the face of a Swiss luxury house, his story is like the mechanics of a precise clockwork, every piece perfectly arranged, yet full of surprises. As the guests began to leave and the lights slowly dimmed, one reality remained: February 12th was more than just an announcement day. It was the beginning of a new era. If this was just the beginning, then time, like Hublot's philosophy, would prove that Jungkook's journey was far from over. But after the ceremony ended and the public began to realize the enormity of the evening, something bigger began to be felt behind the scenes. The entertainment and fashion industries were bracing for a second wave of the Jungkook effect, a wave even bigger than the official announcement. The following day, guests in attendance began to share glimpses through exclusive conversations. They described the atmosphere at the event as classy yet intimate, and many admitted to being captivated by how Jungkook brought a calm aura that made the entire room bow in respect without him having to make a sound. Some fashion journalists in attendance quietly began writing lengthy analyses of his walk, gaze, and even his interactions. They described his presence as less of a celebrity appearance than the entrance of a new generation, modern, clean, and undeniable. Outside the venue, fans who couldn't see the event up close remained a vital part of its momentum. The support projects they had installed throughout the city further captured the attention of local residents. Even pedestrians unfamiliar with the K-pop world stopped to stare, ask questions, and ultimately spread the word that something big was happening. And sure enough, as the following evening approached, a major shopping mall in the city began displaying a mysterious visual teaser featuring only the silhouette of a man in low lighting. No name. No logo. Just one sentence. A new era begins. The public immediately understood. This wasn't just another campaign, it signaled that Jungkook's foray into the brand was just entering its first phase. Meanwhile, industry observers began to notice an interesting pattern. Every career decision Jungkook made over the past 2 years seemed meticulously measured, as if everything had been planned with precision. He wasn't just releasing music, he was building an image. He wasn't just performing, he was creating momentum. And the February 12th announcement was proof that all the foundation he had built had finally reached a higher peak. Internal reports from several foreign media outlets revealed that this collaboration was projected to be one of the biggest celebrity luxury partnerships of the decade. Analysts called it the union of two global powerhouses, an artist with extraordinary magnetism and a luxury house known for pioneering bold design. But it wasn't just business that was moving. Visual artists, editorial photographers, and digital creators across the globe began creating artistic interpretations of his performance at the event. Each piece evoked a dark, minimalist, yet dramatic feel, a style that has become synonymous with him. Fans, on the other hand, sensed something deeper developing. They saw consistent growth, both on stage and behind the scenes. Jungkook was no longer just a performer. He had become a cultural icon, influencing many aspects: music, fashion, visual art, and even the way the world views K-pop as a global force. And the following night, when a short video showing him holding a timepiece was unexpectedly released, the online world erupted again. The video was only 5 seconds long, no sound, no face, no narration. But the vibrations were just as powerful as the initial announcement. Because everyone knew? This was just the second step. A bigger future was waiting to be revealed. And the figure who started it on the night of February 12th was now moving on to a global stage, grander, broader, and more influential than ever before. To all loyal top K-pop fans, get ready, because what comes next isn't just a sequel, but a new chapter that we'll be watching unfold together, second by second, like a precision mechanism ticking away towards the next chapter in history.